introduce who our guest soloists are, but I want to tell a little bit of background on why they're here first. First of all, this piece we're about to play, I'm incredibly flattered. I wasn't supposed to know about it. Those of you that know me know I'm not good with surprises, so I kind of figured this one out. And I kind of made sure that I got to conduct it. I mean, I am the one in general, right? So, anyway, our two guest soloists, if you'll allow me to tell you a little bit about them, and then I'll have them both come out at the same time. They're both very special people to me. Our composer and our pianist is Michael Oldham. I met Michael several years ago through a friend, and that friend was covering my paternity leave. And the friend introduced me to Michael. And of course, very quickly I figured out what an amazing musician and composer Michael was. And my husband contacted Michael to have this piece commissioned for me. And then the second soloist who we'll bring out is Mr. Brett Hedrick. Brett Hedrick is the alto saxophone soloist here. My history with Brett goes back much further. Brett, when he was a very, very young beginning saxophonist living down in the Braidwood area, his elementary school band director was a good friend of mine, and he saw something in Brett, and he wanted Brett to take private saxophone lessons because he wanted him to really take off. So I was working in Joliet, and my friend told Brett's parents, hey, you should have him go up to Carroll and get some private lessons. So once a week, when Brett was, I believe, a fifth grader when he started, pretty much all the way through high school, he would come up to Joliet West High School and have a private saxophone lesson with me at Joliet West High School. So I'd like to have these two amazing gentlemen come out to the stage right now.
Hello, thank you so much. My name is Michael Oldham, and I'm the composer of A Life in Music. Thank you so much. So I wrote this piece for our good friend here, Kevin Carroll. Nicholas asked me about it a year and a half ago, and so I had a year and a half to panic about it, which was pretty cool. But I just want to, first of all, say thank you to this entire band and to Brett, to Mr. Carroll, to Mr. Duker, to everybody who put this together, because this was not an easy piece, and they all stepped up because they all care about Mr. Carroll so much. Say a little bit, very briefly, about the piece. So before Mr. Carroll here decided to selfishly abandon his band program to focus on himself and retire, it was so that I got asked to write this piece, and so I didn't know how I could write a piece to honor someone who has so willingly and just so graciously given his time and wisdom to anybody who walks into a band room, anyone who walks into a lesson. So I knew I had to write this piece and just make it about his life. So it begins with saxophone, his principal instrument, and the piano takes over as his husband Nicholas plays. And there's also an interpolation of By Thy Rivers Gently Flowing, the Illinois State song. And as the piece progresses, we follow a journey through concert band, jazz band, marching band, and then a childlike melody for their son Jackson as well. And then we have a celebratory fanfare flourish to end it. And then, because that's the only way that we can send Mr. Kevin Carroll off into his next big adventure, is with all the bells, whistles, horns, winds, and drums that we can. So please help me celebrate the one and only Mr. Kevin Carroll. This is A Life in Music.